Hey everybody, I'm Greg.
And I'm Katie. And this is our Gen Con wrap-up. But before we get started, if you like this type of content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course hit that bell icon if you want notification of future content.
And if you want to follow us on social media, click the link below and you'll see all of our different social media.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
There's a lot of them. Okay. All right.
So, Gen Con, let's
Yes.
go over some stats. We made us some notes. We made sure we would hit everything.
We spent the last 5 days trying to figure out what kind of format did we want to do this year.
5 days. It was like at work today.
Okay, we've spent the last 5 days trying to figure out what type of format we want and going over all the videos that we shot and all the pictures we took, and you know what? We just decided to heck with it. It's not.
We're
that,
freestyling with notes, if that's a thing.
It's just not that deep, so we're just gonna go for it.
So notes. So Gen Con this year was record breaking. I feel like a newscaster now. This just in. Gen Con broke record, 71,000 unique attendees, beating the 70,000. Yeah, it sold out really quick this year.
2 weeks beforehand, I want to say. It sold out early this year.
There was 450 unique exhibitors.
Yeah.
And I think they probably rounded it up or down.
I'm sure they did.
I'm sure there wasn't exactly 450. I don't know. I didn't count. It was the 50th anniversary of D&D, so a lot of stuff was going on for D&D.
Yeah, there was.
You turned it sideways. 31,000 charitable donations. So
Yes.
they do a lot of charitable donations with Cardhalla and the balloon.
Yes.
There was roughly 24,000 events that people took place in, and we even took place in a few of them.
In a few of them. Yeah, or we took place in a few of them. We participated in a few
We
of
did
them.
place in one of them. Well, I did. We'll get to that. So,
Yeah, we probably ought to add that to the list here.
this year, on the fly, guys.
Okay, get that into the list.
So this year we only had one guest in town. That was our good friend Matt from Arizona.
Yes. We met Matt, and you guys have heard us talk about him plenty of times. We met Matt out at Dice Tower West a year and a half ago. And something that Matt, he loves Root.
Oh, yeah.
His favorite game of all time. He plays it multiple times a month. Well, the last day of Gen Con,
Well,
he
last
was
year,
informed. What?
last year he got to meet the whole
He
Root
did get to
staff,
meet
all
the
the
whole Root
designers
staff,
and the
yes.
artists and everything. And this year he went and visited them again, and
Yeah.
they basically nicknamed him it. And
He ran into the brothers Murph, and Mike and Nick immediately informed him that his nickname was now the
Root Shirt Guy.
So,
We're going to refer to him as the Root Shirt Guy from here on out. Sorry, Matt.
so thank you, Mike and Nick, if you ever watch this, for letting us know
probably
that little
not.
tidbit. So it will live on. All right. Anyhow,
So that's the Root Shirt Guy. Check him out. Look for him. He's very obvious. You'll see him in a lot of our pictures. One thing a lot of people don't know about Gen Con is the people who do the demos.
yes.
These are people, they get a badge depending on how many hours they put in, whether it's a 4-day badge or a 1-day badge or whatever.
Okay, so we've done this in the past. We
At
did
Mayfair,
it with
yes.
years ago. We went 1 year with Asmodee, with the first year Asmodee kind of took over Mayfair's stuff.
Yep.
And then that way we stopped doing it after that because we got involved with other things. So this year we had 2 different people approach us about doing demo hours, and depending on where
Yeah.
you're working for, if you're working, well, Okay, so we were given the formula for how the free badges are figured out. And I thought that was really interesting the way they do it. And I thought that was something new because both people mentioned it to us.
Yep.
So there was one group, and gosh, I wish I had grabbed her card. It was like Game 7 or something like that. They did a number of
They
demos.
did a lot of tournaments.
They had
and
a
stuff
lot of
and
tournaments and a
demos.
lot of game teaches. And we were over there twice.
Yep.
At the West Club in the stadium. And the West Club is actually a really nice area. It's a very nice lounge
Very quiet,
area.
and it's not huge.
Oh my gosh, it was so nice and so quiet and comfortable. It wasn't freezing, it wasn't hot, it was comfortable and it was wonderful. But she told us if we wanted to volunteer next year, it's the number of hours the game is slated to run times the number of people in there. And if you have a total of 70 game hours, you can get a 4-day badge for it that you were running, whether it be a tournament you're running or multiple game plays. However, like the one game we sat down at, it was slated to have 8 people there, 2 games running for 2 hours.
Yep.
So that's 16 game hours right there. Right? Yeah, 2 hours times 8 people is 16 game hours. So that was 16 game hours toward our teachers'
Badge.
I thought that was really interesting the way they did that.
So there's a lot of game companies that look for people to come in
are.
and demo, and they offer, if you're from out of state, they offer possibly hotel rooms. Not all of them do. Some of them do. They offer your 4-day badge.
On how many hours you're working.
Yeah. A lot of times, the other hotel rooms, you're splitting it with somebody. You're
you're
sharing it. So, but it's a lot of fun. While we're talking about this, the second guy that approached us too is a friend of the channel.
Yes, we've done a review of the game that his demo game, and he was there. We had not seen him yet. Matter of fact, we had just been talking about him earlier that morning.
Yeah, because we hadn't heard from him in a while.
We were planning. We were in a game. We were in a scheduled game, and I am running to the restroom between my turns, and I hear my name get yelled. So I turn around, and lo and behold, there's Paul. So, of course, I had to go over and say hello to Paul. But this is Paul Elpers with Gempire.
Yep, and he is designer of the game
Yes.
which is, he's trying to get on the Kickstarter.
Yes.
Or relaunch on the
Relaunch
Kickstarter.
on Kickstarter, right. So, we're probably going to be volunteering with him next year.
So come and see us.
Yes, we offered to
Come
help
play
him
this
run
game.
some demos because he does this all by himself. So we're looking forward to that already. So, but yeah, we'll get more information out as we get closer to.
Yeah, we'll show you the box, the Gempire box right here. If you guys are interested, click on, we'll put a link down in the thing. And follow his Kickstarter, because he's wanting to get about 2,000 followers this time before he releases it to Kickstarter.
He had come up with of ways he wanted to improve the game.
Yes, so he pulled it.
And all sorts of things. So he pulled it to make those changes. Those changes have been made. Now he's
got
just
new
waiting for
artwork.
the backing in order to
Yeah,
do it. So
the
I'm
game's
excited
a
for it.
blast. We have a video on the channel here. Go watch it, see it,
it's a
and
good one.
maybe back it, or at least follow it for him,
Yep.
so he can get this relaunched. It's a really good game.
Okay, back to Gen Con. Start with the dealer hall, maybe. The dealer hall was, I mean, it was as packed as always. It always is. I wish there were a way they could expand the halls, the aisleways just a little bit.
Well, one of the things we kept hearing from people in the crossways, the big crossways, people
right.
saying they need to put in roundabouts.
Well, and technically they put this trash can right in the middle, so it should act as a roundabout, but
It
nobody
doesn't.
uses it as
It
that.
doesn't.
It doesn't. I felt like this year was, and I say this every year, it gets more and more crowded. There were literally times where it was a dead stop, and you couldn't go anywhere. We were watching some of the Dice Towers wrap up stuff, and we were like, I don't remember seeing that booth. We walked every aisle. I don't remember seeing that booth. But then again, when you got into some of the areas where the aisles get narrower over in like Entrepreneur's Alley, you were lucky to walk straight down the center. You didn't have a shot at seeing every booth. You couldn't.
You
get
had to
the
be a
booths.
taller person to be able to see over people's shoulders to see what was going on, or force your way on the one side, and then you'd have to come around and go back down the other side to see the other side if you wanted to see it.
I just.
It is rather crowded.
It's gotten to the point. I like going in there and seeing what there is. Granted, it always leads to spending more money than we should, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
I like seen what's there, but I am getting to the point where it's not worth fighting those crowds.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We didn't spend nearly as much time in the dealer hall this year as we normally do.
No.
Because we had scheduled events.
Mm-hmm.
So yay, that was fun. All right, so in the dealer hall, we did stop and talk to several publishers.
Mm-hmm.
So I will, and I don't even remember which ones I got. The one that really sticks out is Meadow.
Is the new Meadow expansion
Yes,
coming
because
soon?
we were not aware it was even coming out. It's kind of like almost
It's
a
almost
campaign
like,
style,
yeah,
not really legacy.
It's almost like a storybook.
Yeah, it's a storybook campaign. Now,
It's going to be
we tried
interesting.
shooting this 3 times.
Okay, I tried shooting it 3 times.
Greg does not know how to work the video on his phone, apparently, because it never took.
You know, us Gen Xers, we don't know technology.
Fortunately, by this point, I didn't have the heart to ask the guy to start over again. So, here's a little bit about the new Meadow expansion coming out.
I love these.
Okay, so this changes my player count, it looks like.
Yeah, so these are like the notches for the on the campfire board. So you change that. So instead of having to use a block token, you can just switch them out with the player count.
Nice. Okay. I like that.
When's this release?
October 31st, 2024 in the US. The UK release is August 3rd. And you can get pre-orders already if you're in Canada.
And you said it doesn't mix well with the upstream?
It says in the rulebook that not to mix it with downstream, but
downstream.
I haven't tried it personally, but I say do you personally. I think the main reason probably is these are all their own mini game, and you can't really integrate like the fish gold token or the aquatic animals in with these generally, so that's the main reason. But if you were to play it with downstream, you'd have to be like doing all the downstream stuff and then doing these goals. So you would have like 2 different mini games going on essentially. Yeah. So I think it's designed more to just be like a module to kind of go in and out of the base game. And if you want to do it as a campaign, you can do like the My City thing and just work your way through it. At the end, after you finish the 6th scenario, there is a special little postcard that is like 6.5, scenario 6.5, and so it's similar to the downstream one. Instead of a river, it's like an underground river that you can do. But that's after you've kind of played through the whole campaign and you're like, I just want a little something extra.
Which is actually a city in Portugal. So, and they are known for their umbrellas to kind of attract tourists. So, what you're doing is you're trying to attract the tourists to your street. What you're trying to do is strategically place your umbrellas to be able to unlock your mural.
Okay.
And so we have our umbrellas up here. You have rows of 1, 2, or 3. If you grab a 1, you will earn a coin as well. If you grab the row of 2, you don't earn a coin, but you don't lose a coin. If you do a row of 3, you have to pay a coin. On the first one, we're going to see you're going to want the red umbrella there, so you're going to get the red umbrella and a coin. So you're going to move your Meeple to get the picture, and you're going to flip the red tile.
Okay.
To get your mural piece. So you refresh. So on your next turnaround, you may want to say grab this green one, which is in the row 3. Grab that and you pay for it. You have to take your 3. You have to lay them in, all 3, in the same row, but you don't have to put them in any particular order.
Okay.
So
And it's whatever goes on the paintbrush that flips that over. Okay.
That's cool.
I can see the strategy building here.
And you unlock your Meeple here.
Oh, okay.
As you can tell, you get a limited amount of Meeples.
Right.
So once your Meeples are out for a little bit, tourists that get tired, so they may want to go for a rest. So you get one of your moves here, which are listed right here.
So most of those people, like we said, they're volunteers to get their badges.
Yeah.
And they don't normally get the game that they're going to be teaching until like the day before Gen Con opens.
Yeah.
Because if they did it like how Mayfair did, they brought us in like the day before or the 2 days before or whatever, and we sat down with everybody and we started playing it, and the person who was going to teach the game would have to teach the game to everybody else.
Right.
So some of these, like one of the ladies was kind of nervous when we said, could we film you doing this? So
yeah,
she kind of
got
stumbled,
really
but she
nervous.
did a great job. We understood the game.
We didn't sit down to very many playthroughs or demos.
No.
We didn't actually sit down to very
We
many.
had a couple, we didn't film them though.
Right. We did sit down to one of Colt Express, and this is a perfect example of how they're not given the information till right before they're expected to teach it.
because the person teaching it did not truly know the game. She just read the directions on it.
Right. We happened to walk into the booth looking for something else completely. And the three other gentlemen sitting there kind of
Begged us to sit us
basically
down.
egged us on
It was
to
like we
sit
had
down
the game,
and
we
play
played
it.
this a bunch of times.
So we sat
sit
down and
down.
we played with them. We went through one round the way she was taught to teach it.
Which was
And I'm
wrong.
like, okay, but this is how it's supposed to be done. And we played it through that way, and all of them agreed, oh yeah, it definitely needs to be that way.
Yeah, because she was playing one card.
Yeah, one card,
And then resolve it, then one card and resolve it. You're supposed to play all your cards and then
Yeah.
resolve the whole pile.
It was fine, but I'm glad we were able to help her.
Yeah.
Because this was the first time she taught it. So at least I'm glad it was us, and we could.
And one of the guys had picked it up, so or already had it and never
already
played
bought
it.
He'd already punched it. It was all put together. Had never played it.
Right.
So I'm hoping that we made it fun enough to go home and play a full game of it. So anyway, so we got that in. Also, we did one of the new. It was a new 3D cooperative, and I cannot remember the name of it. If I can think
Like
of
Zagorot
it.
or something
It
like
was
that.
Zagorot. That's what it was. We sat down and played 2 rounds of that, and we lost miserably. But
Yeah, quickly in the first one.
very miserably.
But it was
very
the lady
quickly.
teaching it that died both times.
It was.
What to
It was
teach.
great. So we got those 2 played. Those were the only real demos we sat down to.
Yeah,
that I
at
remember.
in the dealer
In the
hall.
dealer hall.
Yes.
Okay.
We had
so
some outside the dealer hall though.
Let's start with what games we picked up, and we'll talk about them as we. We'll talk about what games we played as we talk about them. Yeah.
Well, some of the games we picked up we haven't played yet.
No, I know. I know.
Okay, so we'll say if we've played it or not. Between the dealer hall and the consignment shop.
So let's start with the consignment shop.
Hot seat.
Hot seat.
Okay,
Oh, boy.
let me say, this is a game that a type of game that we would not normally.
No.
Jeez, that box is
That's
lid's
why
already
I
on
put
upside
it
down.
down.
This is a game that we normally would not play. But however, this is going to be a new episode on the podcast. If you haven't listened to the podcast, it comes to the channel a week, usually a week
About a
after
week,
it
yeah.
releases out into the podcast areas. Or you can go to find wherever you do your podcast and find it. But we're going to start having guests. First off, though, the first 2 people are just going to be me and you.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to do it first on this upcoming podcast, though. I'm going to be saying the questions, or I'm taking the. Oh, okay. So I guess I'm taking the questions. So check that out. But this is the only reason I picked that up is for the podcast.
So Justin and Jackie grabbed this one and insisted we had to have it. So they.
Well, they have the
basically
game
put it in our
too.
pile.
They have the game as well, and it's a 2-player game.
Yep.
And now, if they want to play it, they know we have another copy of it because you can play 4-player if
just
you
had to
have 2
2
copies.
Yeah.
So,
right, so
greedy,
that one.
greedy goblins.
Kingdoms.
Kingdoms. We have greedy,
Greedy
greedy
Kingdoms,
goblins. This is old, like Steffenfeld's first game. I looked it up. I thought it was Rama Pirates, but it is Rama.
Oh, okay.
Rama is Steffenfeld's very first game. Steffenfeld being one of my favorite designers. I've got a lot of Steffenfeld games. So this is one I had not played yet. It was really hard to find, but it was actually unopened
Oh, that's gotta be driving me.
in the. I've seen what the game looks like. So, oh, geez, it was packaged wrong.
That's what I'm saying. I just showed. Yes. Okay. I'm surprised it took you that long.
Anyway, though, but it's a game I've wanted to play because I'm trying to play all of his games. I don't have to own them all, and I'm not sure I want to play some of the new city games though. But we'll see.
We'll get there.
But that's Roma by Stefan Feld.
All right. While we're in Stefan Feld.
This one is another Stefan Feld, an older one that's hard to find. This is Luna. I've not played this one either. I have seen a video for it. Rado was playing through it. It was like an 11-year-old video.
Interesting.
But so yeah, so it's another Stefan Feld. I'm interested in playing.
The Domain of the Moon Priestess.
Mm-hmm. And there's a bad guy too that goes around and does things to you.
Oh, well, what else?
Of course. Okay, so that's Luna by TMG. This one's because of Jeff Knapp.
Jeff Knapp, Tabletop Toolbox. This is his favorite party game.
We played this on our
He
24
brought
a
the
few years
little
ago.
version to the 24, and I had not laughed that hard in quite some time.
Our 24 in 2023.
Yes. So when we saw this, I had to send him a picture, and it's like, guess what I found? And the best part is,
We have the party edition.
well, we have the party edition, but other than the orange cards,
None of the other cards
all
have been
the
opened.
others are unopened. So now that being said, we're missing one orange card, so I was sad. But it's okay. It's one card out of like 100, so it's good. I'm looking forward to playing this with some friends because it was a hoot. Let me tell you. All right, anyway, that is a No Me Out Party Edition. That's picked up. We're just gonna,
So I'll put that up there.
okay,
And I'll put that one up there.
okay. We'll just turn these sideways.
Okay.
There we go.
I want to take some off.
I think that's the last one.
We bought Scram. This is what we looked at this last year and then seen it was a 3-player game, but we now have a game night with our son and daughter-in-law.
As
We
well
have a
as-
game night with a couple of friends from Coopula Nerds.
Yep.
And then with people coming over, we have
Yeah.
game nights with. So we figure we can get it to the table a little bit more. This is a team game. It's 2 versus 2 or 3 versus team. 3 versus teams. 3 versus streams. Streams? Wow. It's 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3 as a team or 1 versus 2.
Okay.
I'm glad I spit that out. So that's Scram, Critters, and Campers from Bezier
Yeah,
Games.
I've heard good things. And then one more.
And one more. Oh,
Our last
Gee,
one
look at that.
You found.
and one more Stefan Feld old game that I
We
found.
spent
This
a
is
lot of money at the
this
Kentucky
is an auction game, so she's not big on auction, but I
No.
think she'll like this one.
We'll see. But yeah.
I'm not gonna even try and pronounce it. I think it's like Spiederstadt.
Is it in English? Please tell me it's actually in English.
Yeah, it's in English.
Oh, good.
The name is because if it was German, it would said Das.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
Spiederstadt, I guess. If I'm wrong, let me know.
Okay, that's all we got since time. The store spent way too much money, but you know,
No, it's not.
it's not.
No.
Oh no, you're right. I forgot about
We
that.
got the new shipwrights. We
Yes.
have the old shipwrights as well, and we haven't played that except for once. So we're going to play them back to back and figure out what's better than the other one.
Yes. What's better than the other one? Which one's better?
I speak dyslexic. Okay.
Apparently so.
Okay. So
Okay.
off to the dealer hall.
Off to the dealer hall. Okay, so we spent a lot of money in the dealer hall for as little time as we were there.
Yes.
So
We went into Gen Con saying we're not going to spend a bunch. It's like, nope, we don't. We have a trip coming up soon, like as of this recording, a week and a half.
yes. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one over here. If I can reach, of course it was the one on the bottom, because why wouldn't it be? All right, so we bought this one, Weirdwood Manor.
This is one that I
box.
seen at Dice Tower West and was really interested in. But you didn't really seem to be too into it, so I didn't back it. And then, of course, it was released at Gen Con this year
Yes.
for the...
A cooperative game of adventure and strategy.
This one is cool. It's a round board. The timer is the two is the parts that move on it.
Yeah.
So it's like one day in one part, and then it's like hours or whatever. But
Yep. We've got some friends that we do a cooperative Sunday once a month with, and we thought this would be perfect to play with them, and they're excited. They are as excited about it as we are. So, That is Weirdwood Manor. We will talk more about it once we get it played. That is one very heavy box for the size it is. Okay, what else are we doing?
This was actually one of the demos we did, and we did this with Root Shirt Guy. He didn't have a ticket for it, but he hung out as you can do at Gen Con.
Yes.
There's a bunch of demo tables. Normally it's a ticketed event, but if you hang out and somebody doesn't show up, they'll let you slide in and play the game anyway. So Root Shirt Guy got to play it with us. This is the newest expansion for Aquatica. This is Coral Reef, and this is one of those, I think, is one of those expansions that you don't play the game again without it.
I agree. We're going to have fun trying to fit it in the box, but we're going to try. But we also met a fan there.
Yes, and this
So-
would be him.
All right, so this was Chris. We were sitting down, and somehow the Meeple Society came up, and Chris was like, I thought you looked familiar.
Well, Root Shirt Guy, who is our West Coast promoter, started talking about the channel because he does it whenever somebody he doesn't know sits down at the table with us. He starts this whole spiel about our channel.
So, thank you, Mr. Root Shirt Guy. And thank you, Chris, for watching. I hope you are enjoying the video.
Yeah, because he was like going, I thought you looked familiar.
Yes.
Because he watched your Root rules breakdown.
I do have
Not
never
Root.
done a
Root Shirt Guy, you got me on Root. Earth. He watched your Earth video.
So anyway, this particular expansion, we got to play the whole game, though it literally ran up right to the buzzer. We ended up having to take pictures of everybody's boards and cards and literally add up our points later.
Yeah,
because we couldn't even take time.
Because he was ready to start another demo.
And Greg won. But
Of course.
it adds more cards. It adds new goals. It adds coral reef tokens that give you special powers on your board. And then it adds these beautiful...
Pieces of coral. You're going to open it up.
And just to show you the coral. Because we're going to open it anyway. Look at that. They need to see it. Tell them you need to see this.
No, you don't.
I'm not going to punch it right now, obviously. So
You can see it in the picture.
I don't care. It's not the same. It has these new board game smell. It has these beautiful coral pieces that they're basically a victory point. They go on your board at different times, and then when that card is finally scored, it goes into your victory point pile.
And it's 1
So,
point
it's 1
per
point,
coil.
So you
coral?
want that to happen, coral.
I said coil.
So anyway,
But it also gives you a brand new board
yes, a whole new board, which is,
and more goal tiles.
yep. Oh,
That
needs
goes
to go
underneath.
right there. Okay, so
Yeah.
anyway. We'll
So
come
that's
back to that
Aquatica
one.
Coral Reef.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
People. So while we're talking about expansion, let's talk about this one. This is Ancient Knowledge Heritage. We got this. This is actually Jeff Knapp's copy. We had to pick up some because he didn't get to come this year.
Yes, so ours is
Ours is already in the box, so we
so-
stole his because we haven't sent it to him yet.
Nope,
We're going to see him in a week and a half, and that's when he gets it. So
2.5. But
2.5.
yes. Yeah.
But I'm not sure exactly what it all does.
So it has a solo mode.
New
which
double activation
doesn't-
mechanic. Ooh,
Double activation
That's interesting.
mechanic, new cards to diversify your strategies.
cool. But it's
Oh.
the game we really like, so
We'll
we
find
picked
out.
up the expansion.
All right, I'm gonna put that one up there because that has
Why don't
to
you
go
pull
back
some
in
more?
the
Although
thing.
I got a lot of them over here. Let me get some of these out of the way. So we also, this was one, holy Jiminy. Okay, so this was a very sought out after game at Gen Con. I didn't realize it was going to be
We
so
heard
sought
about
out
this
of it.
because Chris and Wendy from the Dice Tower
Always talk
talked
about it.
It's a
So,
really great game. They play with their daughter.
It's the
all
Dice
time.
Tower Essential, so we picked it up. Just it's like, well, let's
As a
try it out and
fluke.
see. And then it sold
I
out,
liked it.
and people were hunting for it.
We played this 4 times
Yeah,
on the morning of the last day of Gen
With
Con.
Root Shirt Guy.
Yes, we just sat there and over and over again. It was great, and it's just, I mean, it's literally, guys, it's a deck of cards.
Yeah,
That's all
it's a
it is.
stock exchange
So, yeah.
game, basically.
Yeah, it was good. We
You're
really
taking
enjoyed
stock
it.
in different vegetables as they come out, and the stocks go up or down, and
Yeah.
as do my scores.
Well, they go up or they crash and then go up again.
They go up or they go down.
Anyway,
Crashing is going down.
that's a good way to put it, I guess. But a little, anyway, vegetable stock.
Hey. So we got this game. We got this game for free.
Yeah.
This is a promotional edition. We got this when we bought another game.
I don't remember what it was though.
And it is called Flip 7, the greatest card game of all time. We've played it.
We played it that later that day. I don't remember a lot about it though. Oh,
I know it has cards in here that you can hand out to people so they can order the game.
Yeah.
Let me pull it out, see if we can figure it out. Oh, you got to play cards in a row.
Okay, so now I remember what it is. So it's basically like
It's a push your luck
blackjack.
game.
It's a push your luck blackjack type of game. You score points based on how many cards you can get in
The numbers
a
on the cards.
without duplicating a number.
Yep.
And the numbers range from 0 to 12. The more valuable a card is, the more cards in the deck there are of them. For instance, there are 12 12s, 11 11s, 10 10s, etc.
Yeah, it's
all the way
cool
down
like
to
that.
just 1 0
1
1
1.
1 1.
Yep.
So you have to try to get 7 in your tableau without duplicating a number. If
Yep.
you duplicate a number, you bust and you're done.
But if
was
you do it, you get,
cute.
like, what is it, an extra 12 points plus all the points you have on your
15.
cards? 15 points
15
plus
if
all the
you get
points
all
on your
7.
cards?
Yeah.
So it's a fun game. This is, like I said, they were actually selling the full game. This is
Yeah.
just a promotional game, which
like
I don't
it,
know what's in the full game, but
More
this
cards,
was
probably.
this was kind of fun.
Yeah, I liked it. Anyway, flip 7.
Next, we played this with Root Shirt Guy
Yeah,
when
we
we
did
got
this
back home on
Sunday
Sunday.
afternoon, yeah.
We left the dealer hall early. Gen Con wasn't officially over, but we had had enough.
I was
This
proud
is
of
Explosion in the Laboratory. This is from Weird Giraffe Games. It's a 1 to 4 player game, 15 to 25 minutes. The rules on this was really weird.
a little rough.
So it took us some time, but once we finally got it,
Yeah.
it was a decent game.
Yeah, no, it's just once you figured out how to use the cards.
Yes.
Again, it's another push your luck game. You are
Mixing
you're mixing
chemicals.
potions. Yeah, you're mixing chemicals, basically colored cards, to try to get the higher pointed cards. So you've got, yellow and blue, and then there's some red. And you're trying to make green, purple, and orange. Red is bad, and then there's a black that's bad too. But it was interesting. It was interesting. I definitely want to try it again. But yeah, we had a good time with it. I don't remember who won this one.
Did Root Shirt Guy
You did.
win?
No,
I
you
won?
won this
Hey, I won.
Yeah. So anyway, Explosion in the Lab.
Hey. So another one we played this with Kat, a friend of ours, Kat. She's been on the channel before.
And Matt was in it too.
In Root Shirt Guy.
Guy was in
This is Super Kawaii Pets. This is all about rescuing pets and giving them a forever
Okay.
home.
Now I'm not gonna lie. The setup they had for this demo, and this is one demo I wanted to sit down at, because they were showing kitten videos on the TV in their mock living in the middle of their booth.
Mm-hmm.
And I will, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, those kitten videos drew me in. They know how to advertise.
This is one that I had on my to-watch list.
Yeah.
I might have been one of the only ones that had this on there. Although the Murph brothers talked about it,
Yeah.
though. They've played it, and they got a video for it, though.
They,
But I picked it up, put it on the list because it was about rescuing cats, which you and Journey are totally into.
It's the idea with this one is you're collecting upset or angry animals, and you're trying to make them happy. Like this is your angry iguana, and then the goal is to take care of all of his needs to make him happy. Or there's the bunny rabbit, and you make the bunny rabbit happy. It was a cute game. I don't know how often it's going to come off the shelf, but it was a cute game. It was worth the money, I guess. But yeah, that is Super Kawaii Pets. I am 0 for none here on this.
0 for none?
0 for none. Yep, that's right. I've not messed it up yet.
Last little game we got Next Station in Paris.
Next station in Paris? Next station Paris.
Next Station Paris. They knew what I meant. We have Next Station London. Your brother has Next Station Tokyo.
Yes.
This one does, each one of them does something different.
Yeah.
This one has this pretty cool thing because it has a center hub that has all the symbols, if you've ever played it. You're making your routes depending on the cards that are flipped over, and you're trying to connect to that station of the little shape that's on the card.
Yeah.
And this one has a circle in the middle. It has all the shapes on it.
It also had.
It has crossovers too, because normally in the game
yeah.
you can't cross over other rails. This one, it has areas, it has the bridges, and it gives you extra points if you get at least one across, or if you get them both used
how
up.
often you use those crosses. And then it also, there was something else I was just thinking. It had the tourist attractions.
They all
It
have
could
tourist
be-
attractions.
Well, yes, but this one actually, the tourist attractions could be anything. They weren't just a one specific symbol. They were wild. You could go into them with
That's
any
what was
symbol.
different about it, right?
Yeah.
The other ones had the
The other ones have
Shapes?
specific symbols.
Okay.
They just had the little starbursts around them.
yeah, this one it could be anything.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was good. We've
And
already
they had
played it
the
once.
new
It's
wild
enjoyable.
card in there too, that you could go to anything, or you
Or-
can, if you could connect to a tourist area, you could move it to
You
another
basically
anywhere
get
again.
An extra rail. Yeah.
So that was cool.
It was good. Yep. All right.
Okay, you want to do some of yours since
Yep.
you got some big
Okay,
games over there?
Same place we got Explosion in the Laboratory. This is what actually caught our attention. I
Way
did
too
not
many
insist on buying this one.
cats. I felt like I was home.
So I don't know the premise. He explained it to us. I don't remember what the premise is. If we get it played before the retreat, great. If not, we're taking it to the retreat and we're going to make Jeff play it with us. So
Here it comes,
we'll
Jeff.
report back. But yeah, it's cute. It's a cute little game.
It's all about bringing pets and making
Yeah.
them happy again or something. I
well,
don't
it's
remember.
not making them happy. It's the orange cats like to be next to the white ones.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something
and
like
the
that.
white
It's
cats.
filling in a tableau of 4x4
The black
cards.
cats are butt heads, or I don't remember.
Actually, in
something like
here
that.
they were very nice. Ours was just a butt.
Just a butt head.
Anyway.
Okay.
Way too many cats. All right, next.
Okay, so Root Shirt guy comes. He's been here twice now, and we put him up for Gen Con, so he doesn't have to pay the
Yeah.
enormous amount on Gen Con hotels,
Yeah.
which can be very, very pricey. Make your stay here a lot. So he feels the need. He has to come in and supplement it by buying the stuff. He doesn't really have to do this.
No, but he did.
But he does, and we very much appreciate it. Last year, he bought us a bunch of the expansions for, or the Geek bits and all that stuff for Quaxaquedlinburg, which was way too much money to be spending Root Shirt guy on us, but we very much appreciate it. This year,
He bought us 2 games this year. This was one of them.
yes,
And he insisted, I told him I really wanted this one because I fell in love with all the pieces when I saw them, I don't know, a while back. But it also adds 2 new expansions, so it's not like it was wasted money. There's expansions in here. But versus the regular game, look at these pieces, guys. Look at how big and gorgeous those are. But that's not even the best part. This is your first player marker. I love it. So, anyway.
this was a really cool game. Did we need the Colossal?
Did we want the Colossal?
But thank you, Root Shirt guy. You made her day.
Yes, we did. Absolutely did. So yeah, no, I cannot wait to play this one with the upgraded pieces and all that good stuff. So, thank you. Okay, see, 2 new expansions. The other game he got us.
This is a game that we know nothing about,
Nope.
but I watched a video that morning when we were getting ready. I was waiting for everybody to get ready to
Yeah.
go, and I was watching Man vs. Meeple and Jeremy Howard and I can't remember the other guy's name. Anyway, they were talking about this game. This is a game Jeremy Howard liked a lot, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks cool!" And we found it at the Hachette actual room, because
Yes.
at Gen Con now a lot of the big publishers actually have a side room that's not in the main hall, and they start selling early.
They usually open about 9 for the most part.
But this was the game they were talking about. I'd never heard about this game until I seen it, and we all agreed that looks really interesting. So Root Shirt guy bought us this because we were kind of like going, "Do we really want it?
Yeah,
Do
we were waffling on
Eh,
it. He
it
bought
wasn't
one
real
for
pricey.
himself,
Yeah.
and then he bought us for
Well, he says, "I'm going to get it, so give me 2 copies." And we're like going,
It's a great game.
but yes, this is we've played this twice now, and we want to get it back to table
I love
again.
the
And who
player
knows, there could be a
pieces.
video coming of a
That's the player
playthrough.
pieces. That's the plan. We'll see how well it works out. All right,
But yeah,
anyway,
this is Middle Ages? Yes, it's a blast to play.
We will talk more about this in one of our backup videos because you know it's an M. We're gonna have to go backwards. So anyway,
So
that is
another sought out game that we got was Cities.
Yes.
This is also a lot of fun.
This one was funny. We were sitting down with Kat and Root Shirt Guy. We were sitting down to play it in the demo hall after the fact, and we're trying to figure. We're just literally just cracking open the rules, and this gentleman comes by and goes, "Can I take your picture when you're playing?" And we're like, "Well, we're just now trying to figure out the rules." He goes, "I'll teach you, and then can I take your picture?"
And he was from DeVere, and he'd been demoing the game all day long, so he knew the game very well.
Exactly. So he taught us how to play, and then walked us through the first couple rounds, and then took our picture and walked on.
So this is the newest Phil Walker Harding game.
Yes. I like the pieces on this one. And the best part was when you got it, there was a demo tile, I'm sorry, not a demo tile, a promo
When you
tile
bought it, yeah.
when we bought it
It's,
for Indianapolis. Indianapolis on one side, Essen on the other. And the main goal of this is you're trying to, in your board, which I don't have that. Yeah, right. Your board is you're making a 3x3 grid of pieces, of city pieces to make your city. And Indianapolis's goals I thought was kind of funny because one of them is like to have a park area of 3 or more completely surrounded by water or buildings. The water being White River, buildings being downtown. 4 red buildings of any height, each adjacent to at least one park space. And it was kind of funny because neither of us really got, why red? And then Matt goes, because of all the red brick you guys have here. And we're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
we do have a lot of red brick buildings here, but we do have a lot of limestone buildings because Indiana limestone.
Yeah. And then the convention center one is 4 buildings of exactly 2 building pieces height in a square. So it wants you to be the convention center. Thought that was kind of cool though. So yeah, it was kind of neat to have one for this city, and then the opposite side was Essen, so that was kind of cool. But good game. That was Cities.
Okay.
All right, another one we picked up again for our cooperative Sundays is the Role Player Adventures Nephra's Judgment. We have not opened this one yet. We started playing role players on our own, I don't know, a year or so ago, shortly after it came out. And we really enjoyed it. We played it for several hours and then put it away, went through a couple of adventures and put it away. Well, the friends that we played our cooperative Sundays with have as big, if not more, of a role-playing background than we do. So, as long as one. So this Role Player Adventures, I think, is right up their alley. And I think it's going to be fun. We're going to start it this Sunday. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and the designer Keith, I can never pronounce his last name. Can you say that? Matejak?
Matejak, I guess.
Sorry, Keith, if you're watching. Probably not. I butchered it. He's the one that actually told us which one, because we told him he was looking to possibly get an expansion for it. He said this one's a must-have because this adds to your character experience because it gives each character something else to do.
Besides just the
And little side things to do and everything.
So it should be fun.
And since we bought it, he gave me his hot sauce too.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
So.
It's fun. All right. That poor table's gonna give out back there.
Also, we got to meet the designer of Let's Go to Japan, and while we were there, that's when we found out that he was there. We were buying the mats.
I could not resist for $25 to get all 10 player mats.
Yes, which is a great deal. So when we found out he was there, he's going to be there all the Gen Con, and when we went home and came back up the next day, we brought our game and we got him to sign it.
Yes. So he signed with the... There's a lot of Japanese in this signature. So we'll probably never know what it actually says.
It might be his name in,
It might be.
in
I'm
the
not
Japanese
sure.
characters.
Okay, so if anybody can read Japanese,
Josh would, if you happen to be watching.
tell us what
Probably
this
not.
says.
Yes.
So, yeah, okay. All right, thank you. So, yeah, very cool. I'm looking forward to playing with the actual...
I'm just going to slide this over
Probably a
here.
good idea. We've gotten to play with the player mats because Jeff from
Yes.
Toolbox
Jeff
has them.
has
So the
them.
first time we played with them. So now I had to have my own. Okay, Next one. We actually got to do the launch party for this one, for Reef Project.
Jeez, there's been a lot.
Okay, it was late that night when we put it up. Anyway, we got to do the launch party with this one, so it was very interesting to hear the
Put it up.
designers.
You didn't have it up that much.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
It was very interesting to hear the designers talk about the thought process behind building the game.
Yes.
So that was a lot of fun. And then on a slide projector, essentially on a projector, they taught an entire room full of people how to play the game.
They
So I
taught
thought it
us
was
how to
very
put the weebles out.
The reef balls, yes.
Yes, it was the weef balls. The weebles or something like that. That's what it sounded like they were saying.
Anyway, so we got to play a few rounds there. I was in the lead when our time was up and we all had to leave. But so we only got 3 or 4 rounds in. So our last night at the con, Saturday
Yes.
night, our son basically went home, fed the dogs, came back up, and sat down with us and played this along with one of his buddies from work.
And we played over at the JW Marriott, who
did.
had a huge open gaming area. I don't know
Yes.
if we got pictures of that or not, but
I don't think I did, but it was very loud.
yes.
I don't know that I would go back to it. I felt like almost the demo hall was quieter
Yeah.
than that room was and was 10 times the size. But oh well. We walked over, we saw it, we experienced it. We're good.
Yeah,
So-
and Justin's always wanted to play games at Gen Con.
Yes. Yes.
And that
So
gave him a great experience.
this one, you are basically trying to clean up the coral reefs. You're moving your boat around, picking up trash tokens until all of the trash
You're cleaning the
tokens are
reef
gone.
up
Yeah, you're
and
cleaning
putting
the
out weebles out there to...
reef balls.
Okay, to explain, Board and Dice is from Poland.
Yes.
And the two people were...
Very strong.
they weren't the
Polish
designers, but they were the developers of the
Yes.
game that were teaching it, and they had strong Polish accents. I mean, the one
accent.
lady
I
that did
loved
it...
her accent.
Oh yeah, I could listen to her talk all day
Yeah.
with that accent though. But she
Yeah.
did really good at doing it. But she kept calling the reef balls reebles,
Yes.
and it was just funny to hear.
Yes.
Anyway,
Great game. I'm really looking forward to digging into this one some more. Yeah, Reef Project. It's a good one. I'm glad we were able to get it.
and the last one was another big hot selling game that sold out. But yeah, this is Gnome Hollow. This is a really cool game. This was a big hot game.
So we played this one at home.
Yes, we played this with the root shirt guy.
Yes, we played this one at home. He'd gotten a chance to play it, and I guess they got a couple of rules wrong, and he said it was a much better play when you get the rules right. Go
Yes,
figure.
it was.
So we also kind of splurged a little bit and picked up the deluxe resources.
Well, of
So-
course, because she said, "Here you go. You want the resources?" And she just sat them on the table because she knew that she was going to take them anyway.
So the deluxe resources are these gorgeous wooden bits instead of cardboard tokens. So
Yeah, everything's cardboard in this game on the base set except for
your workers.
your player
Yeah.
pieces.
But this just beautiful, beautiful pieces. So worth the money for it, I think.
The game boards are really cool because if you haven't seen this, and if I can actually get my big thumbs to open up a bag, remember the times of these single layer boards that aren't reset?
Yes, I forgot about that.
And they went to the dual layer boards and then they started warping. Well, guess what, people? You don't have to worry anymore.
Oh, the pieces are magnetic.
I can shake it all over the place and it's still where it needed to be.
Now, that being said, it doesn't help if you slide your hand across it.
No, but if you bump it, you're like, oh, where was this piece at?
Yeah.
Because in that game, it really mattered.
It really did. So yeah, it was good. We really, really enjoyed it. I'm again looking forward to playing some more of it. So, all right, and
So
that's it.
that
That's
was
all
the
what
games we
bought.
played. Now we did talk about this year we actually were in a tournament
Yes.
because we
so-
did events this year. Last year we didn't do any events. We kind of hung out at the demo dealer hall because Jeff and
Matt.
Root Shirt guy had never been, so we just wanted to make
different
sure we were available to him. But
Yeah.
this year we did events, and one of the events we did was the Splendor Tournament.
Yes.
This is our second tournament we've ever been in at Gen Con. The first time was like 2015, 2016 with the pandemic tournament,
That was just
which was just the four of us. It was me, Katie, Justin, and Eric, our two
yeah.
sons. And
Needless
Lo and
to
behold,
say,
one of us
team
won. One team won. And I think only by like one turn or something like that.
Yeah.
But this year there was actually 16 that was going to be in it. There's 14 that showed up.
Yeah.
And we placed. Well, I placed.
Well, okay, so I won one game. Justin won one game. You won. You were one of 4 people who won 2 games.
So the way they figured the tournament, the person who had the most wins, those 4 people would go to the finals. Right. And then if there was a tie, then they would go by points. Well, there was only 4 of us that had 2 games each. Yeah. And I went in, and then the seeding went by who had the most points. So I was first player because I had most points. It came down to it where I hit 16 points first, but I was first player, so everybody else got a turn. And the guy to my left hit 16 also in that round. Yep. And the way the game is played, if there's a tie, the tiebreaker is the person who got there with the lowest amount of cards. Yeah. I get that. I still think it should have been overall points. Because I would have won first, but you know it's not a big deal. It was $4 to get in, and it was a medal. We have a picture of me wearing my medal. That's all they need.
Make you wear it today.
No, that's all right. We have a picture for it. So
that was a lot of fun. Other events we did Creature Caravan, which I thought was actually pretty interesting. We played with 2 gentlemen, Alex and Mark, and I won that one. I was actually surprised. It was really fun. It's actually a little mini race across the desert to get to this one city, and you got extra points if you got there.
I was so far behind in that.
You were very far behind. Well, no, you and Alex were pretty close.
Oh, I did beat Alex, though, because I think I had more points. He got across the desert faster.
Yeah. But we also got a couple plays in of River Valley Glasswork.
This is one
Alex,
you were excited
Bria,
to play.
And Jacob, yes. I've got this one coming on Kickstarter.
It's due to be here sometime next month.
Yeah, the retail games are already out. If you wanted the deluxe game, you had to pre-order it, which was fine. I've got the deluxe game coming, so hopefully I'll have that soon. I'm really looking forward to playing that one again. That was a lot of fun. Let's see. We also sat down for a demo of Art Project, or a playthrough of Art Project. This was a cooperative game where you are trying to secure or rescue art that's being stolen in various parts of the world.
And we ran into Sam Healy there.
We did. We ran into Sam Healy.
Got a picture with him.
He was actually working.
He was working the other game.
He wasn't the one that taught us, but
he was teaching the game next to us.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We completely lost that one. We lost pretty bad. Let's see. We talked about Colt Express already. We played Pandemic World of Warcraft. This was the only pandemic game, the pandemic system game we don't own.
Yeah, we did not want to pick it up because neither one of us ever got into Warcraft. No. So it was like, do we really need it? Yeah.
The theme meant nothing.
This game was a blast.
We really enjoyed this one. Now, that being said, we did lost. We lost. We actually played 2 games. We lost that.
We had a horrible start. I mean, we were in trouble from the first turn.
So my notes literally say, Game 1, horrible, horrible loss. Game 2, loss, not quite so horrible.
Yeah, we actually lasted through the whole game on that one.
It was good, though. We had a good time. We lasted till the bitter end, but we still lost. Let's see. That's the Splendor stuff.
I think that's pretty much all we played.
That was all we did. That was all of our...
So the only thing we need to talk about is the biggest game of the con. We did not get... We stood in line a couple times, but the first day we got there, we was like, I'd really like to get this game, and we knew Jeff Knapp wanted us to get it.
Idea it was going to be in their
room. Last year we knew AEG had its own room, so we were hanging out up there, and then we noticed the guy already had CGE. Some letters put together for checks, games, whatever. Anyway, but we did not realize DeVere was going to have its own room. But we seen a guy who already had Rock Hard in his bag and Cities. Yeah. Was a root shirt guy went over there and said, "Where'd you get this?" He goes, "In the DeVere room, just right below us." It was like, so we were running down there. We got in line, and he cut the line off 3 people in front of me. Yeah. That's the closest we got to getting it. What was really cool is Jackie Fox, who is the designer of the game, was there to autograph and everything. And if you don't know who Jackie Fox is, she was the original basis for the Runaways. She joined the band when she was 15 and left the band in 1977. Thus, the name of the game is Rock Hard 1977.
Yeah.
And there is a really cool article in the New York Times about her designing the game. That she said instead of rehashing out her story, she'd just make a game out of it. And it's really cool because it hits everything. I mean, it deals with the dark part of her past in that game by using candy.
Yeah.
So you can take that however you want to though, but it looks really cool.
One thing we forgot. Well, two things.
Oh yeah.
So 2 things.
We're looking at our notes.
Yeah, right. So BGI. BGI stands for Board Gaming Indie. Hence, although they can't see.
Well, you can't see. I'll turn around and see. There you
Don't
go.
knock everything over.
Can they see it now?
Board Gaming Indie. That is our local board game group that we meet up with quite often. Matter of fact, we have a meetup tomorrow, where we get together one Friday a month, and everybody just brings a couple games and we sit and play. And it's gotten quite large, which is fantastic. But we got to do this great picture. This was one of the girls and I forget her name. I apologize, but it was her idea to do a Gen Con meetup on Saturday morning, bright and early, 8:30 a.m. in the Maryland food court area, and we had donuts and coffee. Well, other people had coffee, not me, but you know, I don't do coffee. Gotta have my soda. But we met up at 8:45 or 9:50, something like that. I don't remember the exact time. We all climbed up the staircase and took this picture. It was great. We had a great time. It
We
was
walked
fun
up the
getting to see
staircase. We
everybody.
didn't climb.
You climb stairs. That's just the terminology.
We walked.
Anyway, and one other thing I want to touch on, only because Greg took this fantastic video and I want a chance to show it off, is Cardhalla. And,
Cardhalla.
Well, first of all, the balloon structure. The balloon structure this year was of Gnome Hollow.
Yes, it was.
We found out after the fact. Dice Tower found this out. We saw it on one of their vlogs that it was actually sponsored this year by the
Up.
For Gnome Hollow. And at one point they had people in the gnome balloons walking around. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So there was that. That's one of the charitable areas. And then, of course, Cardhalla, which has been going on for as long as we've been going. I'm sure it's been going on for decades, where people spend a good chunk of their con sitting there folding cards and making buildings and structures and walls and stuff out of folded up cards. I saw Uno cards. You always see Magic cards.
Magic
up there.
cards, Star Trek cards,
Yeah, there's tons
Pokemon
and tons.
cards,
People donate
everything.
Entire boxes full of cards.
And then on Saturday night, for charity, they start pitching coins at it to knock it all down.
And then all the coins are gathered up and donated to charity.
So, but the video you're talking about, okay, let me preface this. Don't do this.
Yeah, please don't do this.
And I apologize to the man who was watching over Cardhalla. I didn't, for some reason, I didn't think about it, but everybody, don't do this. This was not right, but it's really
It's a cool
video.
Interesting way of raising money, and it's a very easy way of raising money for charity. And I saw in an article that somebody said, $31,000. There were 71,000 people there, and all we raised was $31,000. And I mean, I feel we didn't donate anything because we don't stick around for the destruction of those two pieces. I feel like next year I just need to take a roll of quarters, hand it to the guy in charge, say, give these to some of the kids when they come tonight. And there you go. There's my donation. Give these to the kids. Let them have fun.
Well, when we were discussing that, I said, well, if Gen Con would just take off $1 off everybody's badge fees and just donate it that way, they'd be coming up with a lot of money. But so
That's
we
it.
will.
That's all of our notes.
We will leave you with this video that no one else should do. not saying that you can't, but
Don't.
please don't do it.
Don't.
I risk knocking over a lot of stuff though.
Yeah, Justin and I stood there watching him when he started off, and Justin looks at me and goes, "Why'd we let the clumsiest person do this?"
I didn't knock anything over.
No, not a thing.
But
So.
here's the video to end the whole thing. So until then, we'll see you at the next one.
But before we get started, if you like this type of content, please hit that.
You're going to start again.
Yes, I'm going to start again.
This will be for the bloopers.
Yeah. All right. But before we get started, if you like this type of content, please like the video for us. Hit that, hit the subscribe button, and of course, shut up. You are not helping. See, I am thrown off by not identifying ourselves.
Take
Okay.
12.
Anyway. But before we get started, if you like this type of content, please hit that like button for the.